Okay, we're back with more information about Hands-On Puerto Vallarta, our volunteer fair for English-speaking locals and their Spanish-speaking friends. And we haven't talked about an important element of volunteering, which is why volunteer?
Why volunteer?
Well, for me, it was one of the first things that I did when I moved to Puerto Vallarta. First of all, even before I moved to Puerto Vallarta, I had experience in volunteering jobs when I was living in the United States. But one of the first things that I did here when I moved is I was looking to make friends. And I saw a flyer for a pasta competition or something on Basilio Vadillo. And I decided to volunteer just to meet people. And some of the first people that I met in Puerto Vallarta were, it happened because I volunteered for an organization.
Same for me. I think my very first volunteering was picking up garbage on the Rio Quale. And weirdly, it was picking up garbage in the neighborhood I now live in, El Coloso, which I thought was so exotic and different. And so it exposed me to different parts of Arta that I wouldn't have seen otherwise. And some of the people that I met 8 years ago when I first arrived doing that they became second family to me, and we're very, very close, and we're close in a way that's different from a lot of other friends that we've met. So volunteering helped me meet like-minded people and develop relationships that have really gone deep because of that connection.
Volunteering also helps you develop skill sets that you never thought you had. I mean, when you want to learn how to do something, there might be a volunteering opportunity for you there that you didn't even know of. I mean, I could talk about previous volunteering jobs that I've had where, I mean, I think I became a good or a decent public speaker when I was doing tours of Symphony Hall in Boston, and I was
Yeah.
explaining people the history of the concert hall. Um, I think volunteering helps you sleep better at night.
Yeah, because it's doing something positive. Um, I don't. As we get old, there's a lot of griping about the medical problem, about the person not cutting their grass, about whatever it is that's going on. There's a real, we're retired, we have a little extra time on our hands, and sometimes that time goes to negativity. And so volunteering is kind of cool because it puts you in a position to see good things happen and
Absolutely.
to make change happen. You leave a riverbed cleaner, you leave a child with a new thought or idea or skill or word, you leave an animal sterilized. You do walk away from the world and it's a bit of a better place. And so it's a nice way, and you go to bed tired. So one of the things for me, I came to Vallarta a bit younger, and I'd love to appeal to some of our younger listeners that volunteering is not just, you were saying this earlier, volunteering is just not for retirees. I came here and I was 50 years old. I was a little young to retire, but I felt kind of done with my work. And so I wanted to do something more active here, and I wanted to do something other than, although I did my share of sitting at the bars and drinking too, but you do that for a year or two and then you kind of burn out. So it adds another dimension to living that I didn't have much time to do when I was working. I wasn't a big volunteer when I worked because I was working often 2, 3 full-time jobs. So when I retired, it was something that I knew I wanted to invest more of my time in. So
And there's something to be said about volunteering. A lot of people think volunteer and they immediately think, oh, it's going to be a pain in the ass, it's going to be a chore, it's going to be a drag. But that's where the fun begins,
yeah.
actually, because there are so many different types of volunteering opportunities available here in Puerto Vallarta that more than likely you are bound to find something that fits your lifestyle, your schedule, your skill set,
Yep.
your general ability and disposition.
Absolutely. And one of the benefits I got that was somewhat unexpected is I learned a bit of Spanish. So my Spanish is not great, but I get by for sure. And I get by because of the wonderful community members that have taught me. Because some of my volunteering has been going right out into colonias that are much further afield, and they didn't speak English and we needed to sort things out. So we figured it out. And I had wonderful support as well from friends who were bilingual and helped me through it. And I listened to them and I mimicked them. And when you learn by doing, It's a really practical way to learn a language and to appreciate a culture.
Absolutely.
So,
A few weeks ago, I asked some of the viewers of Coffee and Headlines to send us quotes as to why they volunteer. So if you've been watching those quotes flashing on your screen during this conversation, it is hoping that you will be inspired by some amazing Puerto Vallarta English speaking locals that have found a new, well, I wouldn't say a new life, but a new reason to smile
yeah.
through volunteering.
One of the reasons, a lot of people say, why did you choose Puerto Vallarta to retire in? And one of the reasons I chose Vallarta over some of the other communities that expats go to is that Vallarta is a real city. And that was important to me. I didn't want to go to like a Cabo that's like Vegas in the middle of nothing, in the middle of the desert, and didn't really have much of a town or an industry around it. And Vallarta is a real city. It was a fishing village, but it now exists a lot around tourism too. But there are real people here, not far from us either, who are living real lives and have children playing in the street and have, you know, some struggles, but also some joy. And you get to share in both of those when you're out helping communities. And so, it's one of the reasons I'm here is that it's a real city and it has real people.
Excellent.
And I love that. Yeah.
Well, here we are, folks. We've told you about how we decided to put together Hands-On Puerto Vallarta. We have told you a little bit about some of the organizations that are going to be participating in our volunteer fair, and we have given you, hopefully, a few inspiring reasons for you to consider volunteering. So what's left for you to do? If you feel strongly about volunteering, come to our event. It's going to be this Saturday here at the Joint Boutique Hotel and Cowork from 12 to 3. And if you find it in your heart to share these videos, this knowledge, this information with any of your friends and colleagues, we would be eternally grateful.
Absolutely. And I think you're going to meet great people at our event too. Like I've talked to lots of people who are like, oh yeah, I was interested and I'm going to come out. And even if the exact organization you're not interested in is there, you're going to meet the like-minded people. And, I'll be there. Other people that do a lot of volunteering will be there. And I'd love to talk about, some of the edges around volunteering, some of the other organizations that maybe in future we get involved in a fair like this. So I don't want to feel that it's all limited. I'd love to involve everyone. And eventually, hopefully, we'll also address Spanish language speakers too, right?
Absolutely.
For this one, we kept some boundaries.
Well,
so it's a great chance to collaborate as well.
It's a great starting step for this new adventure. So you know where to be, you know what to do. We hope to see you at Hands-On Vallarta.
March 22nd, noon till 3.